We're living in the greatest era of opportunity, the information age. And it means that you don't have to figure everything out alone. The answers to scaling a business, making money, and becoming a better leader are already out there, locked inside the minds of people who've done it before. In the last 15 years, I've spent over $100,000 learning from some of the world's best business mentors and CEO coaches. And that investment didn't just help me build an 8-figure business. It solved problems I wouldn't have even known how to approach that would have slowed down my business growth. Because the truth is, successful people aren't necessarily smarter than you, they just learn faster. In this video, I'm going to shortcut that journey for you. I'll be sharing the 6 most valuable lessons I've learned across business, money, and leadership, so you don't have to spend $100,000 to find them out too. But before we get into it, if you ever want a raw, unfiltered breakdown of every lesson I've learned from my coaches, subscribe to the channel, as I'll be sharing it with the subscribers on the community tab next week. Now let's get into it. Lesson 1. There are 2 types of businesses. Which one are you building? See, there's a fundamental difference between an entrepreneurial-led business and a business owner-led business. And the path you choose shapes everything about how you build, scale, and experience success. What's the difference? Well, it comes down to 2 things: risk tolerance and your relationship with money. First, let's talk about risk. Every business involves risk, but entrepreneurs embrace uncertainty at a whole new level. Why? Because they're not just looking to make money, they're trying to change the game. Take my own business, SiteLink, for example. My goal isn't just to generate revenue, it's to revolutionize the construction industry. That means reinvesting heavily, taking calculated risks, and delaying personal rewards to maximize long-term value. Business owners, on the other hand, see their company as a vehicle for financial stability. They tend to minimize the risk because their primary goal is to create a sustainable income that funds a comfortable lifestyle. Neither approach is wrong. It's about knowing which one aligns with your vision, what feels right for you. If you're an entrepreneur, you'll likely delay luxuries, no big houses, no flashy cars. Every dollar is fuel for business growth. And if you're a business owner, you'll more likely take profits early and prioritize security over rapid expansion. Both approaches have an opportunity cost. Firstly, entrepreneurs delay personal wealth, but can create long-term compounding value that far exceeds a lifestyle business. Secondly, business owners will hedge their bets, ensuring financial security, but often cap their business's potential. You see, it's a personal decision, but remember, the world's biggest brands that have the most impact exist because entrepreneurs chose growth over comfort. Now onto money. The idea here is to know your end game. Both entrepreneurs and business owners want to make money, but for an entrepreneur, profit isn't the goal, it's fuel. If your itch is to transform an industry, you need to think beyond short-term profit. Money becomes a tool to reinvest in innovation, in talent, and expansion. A business owner, on the other hand, they see money as a means to maintain their lifestyle. And this is why small businesses stay small. They think like small businesses. So if you want to change the game, you have to think differently. Which brings me on to lesson 2. Operations is everything. So learn to work on your business, not just in it. You see, a business is like a boat cutting through water, and as the leader, you are the one steering it. And in the early days, your business moves like you move, it thinks like you think, it succeeds or fails based on your efforts. But here is the catch. If your business can't operate without you, then you don't own a business, you own a higher-paying job. The real key to growth is getting out of the daily grind and building a machine that runs better without you day to day. So how do you do that? You evolve your role from technician to manager to entrepreneur. 1. The manager's role. That is the role of optimizing the machine. The manager's job is to analyze operations, optimize performance, and create efficiency. Essentially, performance management. They build systems that make the business run without constant intervention. They manage people, ensuring they're hitting performance targets. They refine workflows to maximize productivity and the output. Every growing business needs a strong manager or managers before it can scale. But if you stop here, your business will always require oversight. The second role is the entrepreneur's role. And this is where you need to get to, which is redefining the future today. Real transformation happens when you step into the entrepreneur's role. And at this level, you're no longer asking, how can we run the business better? That's the role of the manager. You're asking, what will this business become and how will we get it there? This means identifying new market opportunities, understanding your customer needs better, anticipating industry shifts, legislation, technology, and trends. See, when you start thinking like this, your business becomes bigger than you and you start thinking beyond what it is currently today. And here's why getting yourself out of the daily operations truly matters. A business is valued based on how well it runs without its founder involved. And for me, this shift changed everything. Once I built the right operational foundation, I was able to delegate marketing, sales, customer service, and then technology. And I delegated to people that were better than me. See, that freedom allowed me to focus on finance and strategy, the core essence of where I need to be as an entrepreneur. These things ultimately drive the business forward towards its vision. On my journey from working in my business to working on it, I eventually reached the point where I could delegate marketing, sales, customer service, technology, essentially the whole operation to people who were better at it than I was. And this freedom allowed me to focus on finance and strategy. That's how we have scaled to nearly £15 million in revenue and also built a path to much more. Lesson 3, money is energy exchanged. One of the biggest shifts I experienced was understanding the concept of prosperity consciousness versus poverty consciousness. You see, most people operate with a poverty consciousness, a mindset rooted in lack and limitation. They see obstacles everywhere. They focus on what they don't have, what might go wrong, and why things won't work. If you're stuck in the mindset, you cannot build anything significant in business, and it will stifle your personal growth. On the other hand, prosperity consciousness sees opportunity in every situation, even in the difficult circumstances. And those with a prosperity mindset will spot ways to improve a business, develop a property, for example, or even revitalize a struggling area. Beyond this, developing a conscious relationship with money is crucial. It's not just about breaking limiting beliefs, but understanding what money really is and the role it plays in business and society. See, money isn't a physical thing. It exists in your mind, in your consciousness. It's an exchange of value. It's a flow of giving and receiving. The money you earn is simply a reflection of the value you add. If you want to earn more, you need to add more value. And to add more value, you need to become more valuable. It's that simple. If you want to build a business that benefits your customers, staff, partners, and shareholders, your role is to put money to work for the benefit of others without sacrificing yourself. The mindset shift that changed everything for me was this mantra, something I repeat daily to reprogram my thinking constantly. The more people I help, the more money I make. The more money I make, the more people I help. You see, this is a loop. And this perspective not only drives financial success for me, but it ensures the business is a force for good. Lesson 4, build your financial literacy. Financial literacy is one of the most essential skills in life and in business, yet it's completely missing from the education system. Schools teach maths, but they don't teach how to read a profit and loss statement, how to manage cash flow, or how to scale a business financially. And understanding your profit and loss, your P&L, is business success 101. When I took over the role of finance director in my business in 2018, after we faced a financial crisis, I realized just how powerful financial clarity is. And before that, I focused mostly on revenue, assuming that growing sales would fix everything. But that is only half the story. A profit and loss statement is the scoreboard of your business. It shows you two essential things: how much revenue is coming in and where the money is going. And the P&L is typically split into two sections. There's the top line, which includes your sales minus the cost of sales, things like your expenses, like marketing spend or sales commissions or credit card merchant fees. This figure gives you your gross profit. The bottom line takes that gross profit and subtracts all the fixed costs of running your business, like office expenses, insurances, your finance team, and utilities, things that don't go up or down with sales. And what remains is your net profit. So by 2018, our business was in serious debt. But when I deeply analysed our profit and loss, I gained insights that allow me to turn things around. I could see clearly which services were the most profitable, which costs were the too high, where we were losing money unnecessarily. And many business owners, they only focus on revenue. And that is dangerous. And that's what I did at the beginning. And I had, like you could have, record-breaking sales while still bleeding cash through high costs, inefficient processes, and selling low-margin services. Profit margins tell the real story of your business health. Questions are your costs of sales too high? Are you spending too much on overheads? Which products or services drive the highest profit? Are you getting a return on investment for your ad spend? For me, the moment I truly mastered my numbers, everything changed. I was able to cut unnecessary costs, focus on our most profitable services, and make strategic financial decisions. The result? A business that went from being £600,000 in debt to having a war chest of cash that enabled it to reinvest in itself without needing outside investors. So when you fully understand the financials of your business, you can make confident decisions that drive long-term stability and growth. Numbers are not just numbers. They are a conversation with your business and a conversation your business is having with you. So to better understand that conversation, the stronger your company becomes. And lesson 5, think for yourself and teach your team to do the same. Authentic leadership starts from within. You cannot effectively lead others until you learn to lead yourself. And this is why discipline is so important. Raising your standards, developing a growth mindset, and committing to personal and professional development are fundamental. The business leaders aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who continuously push themselves to be a little bit better today than they were yesterday. But leadership is not just about personal growth. It's about independent thought. Can you think for yourself? And in a world dominated by group thinking and social conformity, true leadership requires the courage to go against the grain. And some of my biggest breakthroughs came when I trusted my instinct, even when external pressures pushed me to conform. The ability to think independently is what separates leaders from those who simply just maintain a system. You see, once you've established this foundation of thinking for yourself, self-leadership, your focus must shift to helping your team think for themselves. See, instead of constantly providing answers, I began asking better questions. I started to ask my team, what do you think we should do? How do we solve this? We don't have a problem, we need a plan. What's your plan? I started to ask these things to my team, and that simple shift had a profound impact because it forced my team to develop their problem-solving abilities, and it subtly told them that their ideas mattered. And over time, they stopped coming to me with problems and started to bring me solutions. And this is the holy grail of where you need to be. Because the evolution of leadership in a growing business is fascinating. Your primary focus is on serving the customer, but as the business grows, your role shifts to serving your team, so they in turn can better serve the customer. This is a transition that many business owners miss. I coach my staff. I help them think about what they want from their careers and from their lives. Then through business, I help them achieve these goals. When you invest and understand your employees' aspirations and actively support them in reaching them, you build trust, loyalty, and motivation that money can't buy. I like to visualize leadership as an inverted triangle. The owner is at the base, the team is in the middle, and the customer is at the top. You see, the owner's job is to serve the level above the team, and the team's job is to serve the customer, the level above them. And this is the opposite to how most business owners think. You see, our role as leaders is not to create followers, it is to create more leaders. And when you empower your team to think for themselves, you multiply your impact and build a business that can function effectively, even in your absence. And that is what everyone wants, freedom. Lesson 6, your values, morals, and communication style will guide your team. You see, your character as a leader is determined by 2 things, your values and your morals. These drive the standards and the behavior of your organization. See, I operate according to 4 key values: develop a growth mindset, do that little bit more, make it happen, and take responsibility. And these values act as a compass, guiding every decision I make, every action my business takes. You see, my morals, on the other hand, are based on a simple principle: help others whenever possible. But helping others is not always about being nice. Sometimes real leadership requires having those difficult conversations and challenging people to grow. It's not always sunny skies and easy roads. True leadership involves holding high standards, accountability, even when things are uncomfortable. When you dedicate time to improving yourself and clearly defining your values, you naturally shape the culture of your organization. You see, your job is to hire and manage based on those values. Your team should reflect the standards you set. They're never going to be identical to you, but they should embody their own version of those values. That is what you do when you start recruiting. Because your values and the values that your staff bring drive culture. And culture determines whether your business will thrive. It is said, culture eats strategy for breakfast. And beyond values, communication is the most important skill as a leader you can develop. But communication is not about talking all the time. It's actually more about listening. You see, true communication is about how well you absorb what is happening around you. Taking the time to truly listen to your employees, your suppliers and customers. That's everything. Being able to read the room or certain individuals to feel what's really going on. In staff management, listening builds trust. In supplier relationships, it strengthens partnerships. In marketing, sales, and in customer service, it's the difference between a loyal customer and a lost sale. You see, when people feel genuinely heard, their loyalty and commitment to the organization or to the cause increases. Human connection is key. We're all dealing with people here, and it's key to success in business. In an increasingly digital world, the ability to build real-life relationships gives you a competitive advantage. Technology can never replace that. You see, what I found was that my business grew most when I focused on creating meaningful connections with my team, with my suppliers, or with my customers. The technology, it's just a tool. It's the human interaction that creates lasting value and loyalty. In the wise words of Henry Ford, he once said, "If there is any one secret of success, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view and see things from that person's angle as well as your own." Human interaction and human relations is your key to success. So let me summarize. 1, decide, are you a business owner or an entrepreneur? 2, make time to work on your business, not just in it. 3, develop your prosperity mindset. 4, your business is speaking to you. Learn to master your business's numbers. 5, think for yourself. 6, teach your team to do the same. If you found this video valuable, great, I've done my job. Hit subscribe and check out my last video. It was titled, "Watch This Before Hiring a Marketing Agency for Your Business." I help you manage marketing agencies and build a performance marketing function for your business that will help it grow. Something that most entrepreneurs don't even understand how to do. Never ever forget, you are more powerful than you know. Your potential is infinite. Until next time.